Hello, everyone. Do you make to-do lists? Do you keep them close to you so you can check off every time you get something done? If you have a list of errands to do you map out the route you're going to drive so that you can get there in the shortest time and back home? Have you ever taped your to-do list to the dashboard of your vehicle? I have. Have you had moments where you just think, today I'm going to make it through this to-do list? And then you get an unexpected opportunity, a gift for something to do for yourself. And the first thought is, but I still have things to do. Is there a part of you that is like a broken record saying, if you don't get this done today, when do you think you're going to get it done? And is there another part that's trying so hard to be heard that says, but this opportunity won't happen again? Have you faced this dilemma? Have you had to choose between head and heart? In the book of Luke, chapter 10, verses 38 to 42, from the New Revised Standard Version of the Holy Bible, we witness this happening between two sisters, Martha and Mary. Martha invites Jesus and the disciples to her and Mary's home. When they arrive, she gets busy in the kitchen. She's just bustling around. Martha knows how to put on a good meal. Now she's whipping by the door to the living room. She looks out and she sees Mary. And Mary, her sister, is sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening. Martha gets upset. How can Mary be visiting when there is so much work to be done to put on this meal? She goes out and she demands of Jesus that he tell Mary to come help her. In Luke chapter 10, verses 42 and 43, the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is a need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her. The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary interprets Martha and Mary as aspects of love. Martha ministers to the physical and Mary to the spiritual. Martha and Mary are parts of a whole. They're not separate and apart, they belong together. What is important is the impact that results by who goes first, Martha or Mary. If we are only Martha, work will come before everything else. Fun, relaxation, self-care, our spiritual well-being. If we do not come from Mary, all we do is work. What Jesus shares with Martha is that she's not doing anything wrong by preparing the meal. It is just that she needs to choose first to nourish and expand her spiritual well-being. It is from this awareness that we see our true nature, our wholeness, and our oneness with God. When we come from Mary, which represents our spiritual foundation, then all that we do comes from love and grace. There seems to be a natural flow and ease, which also provides us with the gift of opportunities to relax, take care of ourselves, and to nourish our spiritual soul. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, reminds us that in our desire to serve, we do not forget our times of communion with our indwelling Lord. I discovered this truth when my minister started her 3-month sabbatical. The board chair was still away for 1 month of his vacation, and our treasurer had just requested a leave of absence because her husband had had a stroke. That left 3 board members to manage the operation of the church for the month. The first Sunday, I came in with a 15-item list of things that I had to do before and after service. I was frantic. I wanted to make sure I did them all and that I did them right. Remember, somebody came up and waved a receipt in my face and said, "Do you think you could cut me a check for these refreshments?" And I panicked. I thought, where does that fit in my list? I do not remember what the Sunday talk was about. I remember I did feel resentful because after service I was back in the office working on the 15-item list and not part of the fellowship. The next Sunday I made a very conscious decision that I was going to church to be with my spiritual community and to nourish my soul. Every time somebody came running up with something they needed done or a question they needed answered, I would go back to this intention. I do remember what the Sunday talk was about because I was present. According to Scripture, I had made a decision to sit at the feet of Jesus. By choosing spiritual wellness before tasks, I was full of grace and acceptance that Sunday. In fact, people liked me a lot more. Since this experience, when faced with a task, I asked myself, which M&M will I choose? Which Martha or Mary will I start with? Will I jump in head first and just get busy doing things? Or will I pause and remind myself that what is done with oneness with God will be done with grace and love? Today you chose to come to service. In essence, you chose to sit at the feet of Jesus. You chose to nourish your spirituality, to keep the spiritual light within fueled and lit. You chose the Mary aspect of your nature. When you leave here today, you're probably going to go home and do some Martha stuff. Maybe you're going to be cooking Sunday supper, mowing the lawn, or driving a child to a friend's house. When you're doing that task, I would like you to reflect on what's happening within you. What's your body feel like? Are you comfortable in your skin? Are things just okay and in alignment? What are your thoughts? Are your thoughts one of gratitude that you were able to do this? Are you joyful? Are you happy? I want you to remember how this felt. Then next time when you're doing things on your to-do list and you're just head down and moving forward, I want you to pause. I want you to stop and ask yourself, what's happening inside my body? What thoughts am I thinking? And then I want you to bring forward the memory of today. Remember that there is a need of only one thing: faith, from which all things flow with grace and ease. And so it is.